ballin', still ballin' in the mix.
Technically.
So, all this success going on in the league.
Shout out to Africa. Shout out to shout out to Drew Hanley.
Shout out to Africa.
Yo, man. It's the Backcourt. It's your man, Ryan Escobar.
Yeah.
You know,
great.
Souls of Liberty, episode 2. We got a special guest.
Hey,
Mizzou alum.
Yeah.
Houston native.
Yeah.
Newsy reporter.
Yeah.
Overall, great guy.
Appreciate that, man.
No problem, man. Jamal Andress, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm glad to have you, man. Appreciate you.
Of course, man. What's going on?
Man, not much, man. How you been doing?
Been good, bro. We I just got hooked into criminal justice reporting lately, so I'm doing a lot of depression shit at work. But aside from that,
this nigga's going to jail every day. Like, man. And again today,
just leave work like, man, we are not doing well, like, as a people. But aside from that, I know we're here to talk about basketball.
Basketball,
everything's good.
That's the best we've ever done as a people. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, LeBron is like, it's Black history. We don't really got too much in the record book.
We might get into that a little bit later, actually. I might have some questions for you,
our first Black billionaire has been, you know, hooping and rap, and that's synonymous.
Agreed.
True. Yeah, man. So, you know, man, this the Backcourt, we in a new horizon right now. We really just talking to all the hoopers that we know, high and low, short and tall, men and women.
Right. And a lot of people don't know that, like, you really hoop. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
The rec was a thing at Mizzou, you know what I'm saying? But she was one of the first people in the rec. I was like, damn, this older nigga he's stepping back on my ass. Like,
our
he is
listeners that don't
consistently
know,
stepping back. Lefty, smooth, you know.
Mizzou definitely, University of Missouri had one of the best recreation facilities in the country at one point. I think it was number 1 ranked actually at one point.
Yeah, we hit the peak time.
I have nothing but good things to say about Mizzou's rec center, especially considering now I've been hooping in and around Chicago,
and it's tough.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's hard.
The quality of person to run against, like. There's a lot of guys, like, we had a lot of guys who play AAU and could have played probably at smaller schools. You know, I know I had Division II opportunities and little shit. You bigger than us, so I'm sure you know what I'm saying?
I got one letter from like a D2 coach, and it was this military school in Long Island.
No thanks.
And I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah, no thanks, bro.
Just move as
Coach
far away as
Johnson.
I can from the house. And military school, I'm like,
like, there's absolutely no way I'm going to Long Island to go and join the military to play basketball. Like, and maybe I'll start. Like, nah, I'm good.
Definitely. I need the keys.
I don't like hooping that much. I love it.
If I'm going to Long Island, I need the keys, coach. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm stepping back. You were James Harden. You kind of James Harden before James Harden. I mean, your game is similar, like.
Yeah, that's true.
But like, you just like more in a respectful within the team concept kind of thing.
You ain't ball hogging as much. I give you that for sure. But you definitely do got.
But you left and you could go to the
Texas two-step is real. You know what I'm saying? The Texas two-step is real, man.
I was at home playing ball or whatever, and I was playing with like my little nephew or whatever. So we just, you know, out hooping at this LA Fitness, and I swear it's gonna be a bunch of little niggas traveling in the next like 10 to 15. It's gonna be so bad, y'all.
It's so bad.
Like I can't explain to y'all how
so bad.
James Harden is teaching the worst habits right now, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically just taking like a hood nigga game from the rec.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dribble Too Much. A lot of people don't know. Like, I've been watching Dribble Too Much. That's James Harden game. Yeah. Like, James Harden obviously was an NBA player before that, but it's obviously they linked up and he was just like, give me your bag.
Ball handling. Like, whatever his skill work was, like his footwork. That's what it is. I feel like
the how he sized people up with the between the legs shit.
Yeah.
It confuse you. It's too much. Like, it make you nervous.
It puts you to sleep.
You just feel like,
it's kind of like,
Yeah.
And James Harden is big as hell. He's like a running back.
Yeah,
So
James
it's just
Harden like 6'5". People don't.
He's
trip
wide.
off that.
His shoulders are wide. So it's just like,
he a fullback.
I think the most frustrating thing, and I mean, I'll get into the James Harden thing a little bit later, but I think the most frustrating thing is that every time he scores, it's like, yeah, that was good defense, bro. Yeah. Like, I don't know what, as a coach, and then maybe that's why you're averaging 40. As a coach, I don't know what I would tell my player. Like,
I would let him catch it. Yeah. I would make him work to
You
get
just got to
it.
deny.
That's
like,
something
and
that
pick him up at half, because it's just ultimately,
I would make him drive though. I would just play the jumper.
I remember
if I was guarding him. I
remember as a player, what they tell you is, if he take a step back from 35 feet,
good D.
Yeah, it's a tough shot.
I'm still a proponent of that. I still feel like the further you shoot away from the basket, the better. I mean, you got guys like Damian Lillard, Steph Curry, but honestly, it's only a few of them guys in the world.
With knowing Jamie though, how he play, I like how we just got right into it. Fuck it, but knowing how Jamie play though, I want to put him on his ass. I want to make him play him to where it's like, no, we're daring you to come lay it up and come to free throws and shoot 30 of them.
It would be no threes for me. It would just be he got to have 60 off layups.
And I personally think James Harden is kind of soft.
I don't think he's soft, but I do think that it's just like that's harder to do. Standing around shooting is easier. Yeah. As a person that don't go to the basket, standing around and shooting is much easier than I'm going to have 40 on layups.
It's soft was kind of harsh.
I mean, this is my
it's a mental thing.
This is my comparison. Like, I remember whenever you go to a gym and you the best one there, and the whole offense runs through you, it's so tiring.
It's tiring.
It's crazy how difficult it is.
And that's what it's get to.
And that's what he does. He's been doing that since he's been in Houston. And also, I didn't realize this until like the other day. He's only missed like 39 games.
He doesn't miss games.
That's
impressive.
It's crazy, man. That's not a normal
production. I want to play games.
He's playing pickup.
I mean,
in the NBA,
the whole load management thing is like, I think it gets over exaggerated.
And Kawhi just hurt.
I think Kawhi is actually just hurt
when
you watch him play.
He won.
Yeah, and he's like, they want him to be the face of the league, and he's not a person to be the face of your company.
Yeah,
just because that's just not his. It's kind of like D Rose. It's just like, that's just not his personality. More than anything, you know what I'm saying? He's a good guy, but
you can't have an introvert be the like.
No, there's every D Rose commercial was just him like scowling into the camera. Yeah, that's it.
I'm tough.
And Steph Curry, in his own way, is very much so like that. I think too. Steph Curry is very much so like, get this nigga off stage.
Yeah,
I love you, bro, but we don't want you talking at school. Calm down.
Yeah, it's just like I had to work hard for everything. All right, Steph, thanks, bro.
God is good. Thank you. All right.
Appreciate it.
Jesus will. Okay.
Thanks, Steph.
Thanks a lot, Steph.
Yeah, man. So tell us a little bit, we all kind of got similar basketball stories coming up.
When did you start loving the game?
Yeah, when did you fall in love with the game, man?
I don't even know if I had a choice, man. So my dad spent a long time chasing basketball, obviously. So as soon as I could walk, I had a basketball in my hand. I don't know if
to Dad. He raised me right away.
I don't know if he saw the
my
bag.
future son is gonna have a basketball.
I don't know if it was for me or for him to have like get a car collection going or what. But like I had the basically like a cupboard or whatever, and you can hang that little basketball goal, like it was a little play goal or whatever in the cupboard or whatever. So he had that hooked up like as soon as I, could walk around. And I've been basically, I'd say my like love for basketball came doing pickup like right outside my house, because I had one of the goals on the garage and everything. And so I guess because I was one of the few with a goal on the like that everybody could get to anytime, I'd like come home from school and there was just people at my house hooping already.
That's real.
Okay.
And so
that's real.
So you didn't even have a choice really. Like you get home, people like, yeah man, put your stuff on. Like we've been waiting on you.
It's Jamal.
Your mama like, put your stuff on, bro. What you doing?
They looking for you.
God damn. I'm trying to play the game today.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was gonna do anything else today. So it just ended up being a thing that naturally came around because I had the goal in the neighborhood. But I got involved with AAU pretty quickly. Like I did the YMCA growing up for a little bit, and then I was
like
better than everybody.
Like starting off for how?
Yeah. I want to say I got started. I don't know. As soon as they start them leagues, man, because I know my first year doing AAU was third grade.
Okay, so you was in there.
Yeah, bro, I got in there.
You graduated high school 07?
Graduated 08.
Oh wait, okay. I think you only a year.
Yeah. So I got started with AAU in third grade, and the other thing about me was I grew really quickly.
Okay.
So I was 5'10", in 8th grade.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was. Nigga, I thought I was gonna be like, I was a top 100 nigga, and then it was like, oh, you never going again.
I swear, man. I got to high school. I topped out at 6'1" and just never did it again. That was it. Like that was all. But I thought it was gonna be huge. I wore like a size 14 shoe when I was in 8th grade or something. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be.
Your dad was happy as hell walking around like, let's go, nigga. UT.
I really felt like that. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this. Like this will be my thing. And so I spent a ton of time playing AAU ball. I mean, like I played all the sports until probably like junior year of high school. But
okay, so you had baseball and football.
I did football, track, and basketball.
Okay,
football, track. So it was that all year, and in the summertime I did basketball that whole time.
Okay, gotcha. What you playing football? What position you playing football?
I played tight end in football.
Okay.
I actually feel like
Shannon Sharp.
If I could do it all over again, I probably would have focused on football and track. Because you ain't got to be 6'7", like to be good at football.
And you was in Texas, so it's like that's a football place.
Yeah.
It's a different animal.
Well, that's the other thing, though. They make you choose. I mean, they make you choose at all high schools and stuff, but in Texas in particular, man, you can't be playing around with football. Like somebody gonna come get your spot.
Unless you're just a top tier athlete. Yeah. Unless you just like, I'm running 4'2", I'm big as hell. Then it's like, well, all the coaches fighting. He play everything.
Hey, I don't know if y'all ever seen it, but my high school used to have a game against Madison High School. It's this high school like right across the road, but like outside. It was in the city of Houston, so it was a little more rough around the edges than where my high school was. Okay. And Vince Young went to school there, so our high school had a game against them every year. It's the first game of the year. It's a little packed out hood gym, like it's hot in there. And I saw Vince Young play our high school when I was like in middle school or something. My dad took me up there to the game. That nigga could go, bro. Like, it's not playing both. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Damn.
He was that guy.
You the biggest man in town when you in high school. It's like,
so how much older was Vince Young than you?
He like 04 or something?
Yeah, I think he was 04, 05. One of those. Yeah.
Because he won the Rose Bowl, whenever that was.
I think in 06.
That was like 06, 07, something like that.
Yeah.
Might have been 06.
So who, like you talk about guys in the area, like is there any guys that you play with, or who are the guys that kind of inspired you, or maybe you patting your game off in town and even in the league and stuff like that?
Man, I feel like, and this is, I don't know. So I think for a long time, I genuinely thought I was going to be a big man. So I wouldn't say I patented off anybody in particular, but I consider myself sort of a slashing big man, kind of like, Tyshawn Prince comes to mind, like.
You a forward. That's what you saying.
Yeah. Like,
that's your game now. Still. You got a forward game.
That's interesting that you say,
you let people point guard to you. Like for me being a point guard playing with you, you would let me like have the ball and shit. Like you don't be trying to. Yeah.
So it was kind of like I consider myself a 3 and a 4. Like I can reasonably shoot this jumper, but in general, I want to catch it on the wing, short corner, like something like that, and work from there. But when I got to high school and stopped growing, like. I just had to try to get a jumper, and it felt like I was drowning like all through high school because it was like everybody catching up, and I got to try to pull this jumper together, like get it decent. So it was less like having somebody to model it off of, and more just kind of trying to scoop my game out as far as I possibly could. Gotcha. Like if I could get from the 15-footer to the 25 or to the 3-pointer, then I can stay on court. You know what I mean?
I got what you're saying.
Because that whole like catching somebody on the wing and taking them off the dribble to the basket just ain't working no more because there's trees down there. Like I can't.
Yeah, now I'm on that shot of mine. And it's Texas, so y'all got people in the like there's a lot of people in your city. So
yeah. My high school had like 4,000 people. Man. It was huge.
Like I couldn't even imagine. Our district barely had fucking 4,000 shit.
Yeah,
high school was
just
huge.
around.
Yeah, I feel like all our high school. So y'all had better facilities. I assume just from knowing the little bit I do know about Texas. Whatever.
Yeah.
I got a lot of family down there.
We had a nice little spot. I mean, our high school was actually had the 2 district gyms. So like the district football field and the district basketball gym was at our high school, like on our little campus.
Okay.
So y'all play home games, going to state.
Okay.
The funny thing is about Texas though, even if your basketball team is really good,
nobody cares.
You gotta win state for anybody to care. Like it was like the football team would be terrible, and the gym, like the game was packed out every Friday.
That's lit.
It's one of them things.
Like high school is like the entertainment in y'all towns to a certain degree. Like, I mean, y'all got bigger shit, obviously. But like,
I mean, I'd say Houston got like other things, but I think Friday night football was still a huge deal. Like under no matter who you were. No matter what size your city was, high school football is a big deal. Like people come out, like, and it's not just the students or whatever. Like you see parents, alumni, the whole thing.
It's a community event.
Exactly.
Did you struggle with like confidence with your game? Like as you got older, like did you feel like, damn, I'm not as good? Or
it was two things that like bothered me when I was like trying to play ball in high school. One, because I had been playing for so long, I just kind of got burned out at a point.
That's right.
Like once I want to say like maybe my junior year, I'm finishing up basketball season and I'm about to go into the AAU circuit or whatever. And I'm just like, man, and I've been with the team for a long time. Yeah. My tick is coming down or whatever. I'm just like, all right, man, I just rather not do this.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a thing where I had invested so much into it, I couldn't.
You wanted to see it through.
Yeah. So I never technically quit. Like I never stopped playing ball. I just switched
kinda
teams
lost your
at a
love
point
for the game.
Okay.
I feel that. I feel like I had a moment like that in high school too.
Yeah.
Not that I was like completely burned out, but I didn't have no real guidance, and I felt like niggas was playing me for how good I was. So I was just like kind of frustrated. Like,
when did you decide that you weren't gonna like pursue playing in like college? Because that's always like a thing where you play for so long, and then like I got a few people that's like, damn, I have to make the decision now that I'm not going to play.
Going into your senior year, was you still like holding out hope that?
Nah,
you knew it was
really.
right. Okay.
I mean, I'll say this. I knew. Well, there's two things. One, my mom was very intent on like, look, here's the stats. Like, here's the percentages that you will become like just the 12th man on an NBA basketball team. Like, only 1% of high school kids are going to play college ball. Only 1% of them college ball kids, specifically D1, are going to play NBA.
Right.
So it's going to be tough. The other thing was, I watched my dad chase basketball past his prime too, and I was just like, I ain't doing that.
So what was your dad? Your dad like was a real big hooper at one point?
I mean, he played constantly, but I think it was more like his social circle was basketball.
Yeah, my dad like that too.
Yeah,
that's
so
his only life he got. That's the only life he know for his
exactly. Yeah. So it wasn't even
when
about
you say
like
chase,
I gotta
what
make
do you
it.
mean? Like,
I just mean taking times when he could have been going back to school, working an extra shift, like blah, 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 whatever.
He hooping.
He was hooping. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Well, that's the thing, because he didn't go to...
No, he's hooping.
He coached us, but
right.
My mom used to tell him all the time, like, yo, you should, go get your college degree, then you can, like, coach for a team or whatever, because that's, this is what you be doing anyway. So I knew that it was something you could get lost in. So I was always very, very conscious of like, I don't want to be out here like chasing basketball for no good reason. That was really, really important to me.
That's real. Yeah, I think for me, I had like my uncle and my dad really taught me how to play, and both of them were coaches. So my uncle was an educator and stuff like that. And then my dad is like doing stuff in the school system too, but he's not like a teacher. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But he still like coached in the district and did stuff like that. So it's that point to where you like, damn, what do I want to do with basketball? You really got to make that decision. Because I know for me, I don't think I made my like internal clock that I wasn't going to really play basketball no more until almost about time I was about to graduate.
Yeah.
Because it was just like I had an opportunity to go to a D3 school in St. Louis. It was like the high school I went to was like so academic focused that I felt like I might as well have not went to a hard high school because I'm not stupid. I'm gonna graduate college. You know what I'm saying? I might as well have went to a big high school and hoop for real if I'm gonna do all. You know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna just go to Webster, no against to Webster. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, my life not set up for this right now.
We was fucking them up. So I was like, you're not going here. These niggas weak as hell.
Yeah, it just was like, and then Mizzou. I had went down to Mizzou for like the diversity scholarship.
Yeah, same here.
And I was just like, oh, okay. Well, this school actually is cracking. Like this one is nice. You know what I'm saying? Like this is nice.
I'm gonna go to school. Might as well go to the biggest fucking school.
It's
in the
wild
state.
though, man. Because I remember, like, I mean, just no offense to Missourians, like I ain't have I wasn't anticipating nothing.
We are in Chicago right now, so no offense. We understand. No offense.
I had like no expectations, bro. I just kind of like, I was like, all right, Missouri, cool. Like I know they do the journalism thing.
Yeah.
My like high school mentor recommended it. Give it a shot. Like, let's go up there and see. And I got there, I was like, yeah, this is great.
It's nice.
This is amazing.
It's nice. You know what I'm saying?
Really enjoying myself.
I would say in St. Louis during that time, like, so probably like your class and then mine, that was like the resurgence of like Mizzou.
Yeah.
Because it's like for Black Mizzou, I would say. Because I would just say in the early 2000s, like I had cousins and stuff like that. None of them really, Missouri wasn't an option for real. And I mean, obviously it's really white. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But even it just wasn't an option. And I know they put a lot into their diversity outreach with, they got real heavy in the Midwest, just in general, Chicago. And then St. Louis hard, KC. You know what I'm saying? Obviously it was a decent community of Texas students, I would say too.
Yeah, Texas is a lot. I know a lot of people from Texas.
That's the thing. It was mostly Dallas instead of Houston, but yeah, I got up there and was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, it's hell of y'all up here.
Niggas was hitting that flex, you know what I'm saying? And the road and ice cream paint jobs.
Oh my God.
I showed up and it was like, oh, okay, Texas music is cracking. Like, this is what we listening to?
Because we country too. Or we, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Missouri is a lot more country that people would know off top. So,
Missouri is a weird state because it's like you also got like St. Louis, that's
southern influence.
Real southern influence, but we still had Detroit influence, Chicago influence. But then you got like Kansas City that's like inspired by like the West Coast.
Yeah,
and
I think that is
nobody
understands Kansas City.
St. Louis and Kansas City
no offense to my Kansas City niggas,
communication.
But
that's the most interesting. Like St. Louis, we have no communication with Kansas City at all.
Yeah. I just remember.
Nobody knows who Tech Nine is in St. Louis. I never heard a Tech Nine song. And for him to be such a huge rapper, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got to Mizzou, I never heard
a Tech Nine song.
All that shit.
I remember boys was hitting the thins or whatever, and I was just like, ain't that some Cali shit? Like, what are y'all doing? Where did that come from?
Matt Dre from the Bay.
And the gangbanging kind of hit over there a little harder than I guess the plugs start pulling up on them and shit.
Because even like I got cousins like in Omaha that was like in real Crips. You know what I'm saying? So that's like
West to Nipsey.
Yeah, it's like actually.
Gotta say that every show.
It's like so. Yeah, Kansas City is an interesting place culturally. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's in the Western.
I was shocked.
It's like a racist West Coast. It's still Missouri. You got to throw that white man on there.
Yeah. So who are some of the players from Houston during your time in high school?
So the best example, the best player I've ever played in person, was DJ Augustine.
I was just thinking that
DJ Augustine
he just got hurt too.
Yeah, so DJ Augustine won 3 state championships in Louisiana.
And then Hurricane Katrina happened.
So we got a bunch of New Orleans folks that moved to Houston.
How was that,
baby?
It was hectic for a little bit, man.
And then it's crazy that y'all end up having a hurricane situation. Like,
that's a good point. Because it was like for us, I remember just being in high school, the whole country as black people, we just were so invested in Hurricane Katrina because it was just like
it was just black people on
a
TV.
Natural disaster. Like most natural disasters in America.
It was like 9/11, then that kind of for our generation as kids.
And I mean, I feel like the other thing is just kind of watching it on television was so disturbing because it's like y'all ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, it's like it's America.
Like, what's up? What's going on? This is here.
And black was like conditioned as a kid, like even before politically was going on. It's just like, okay, we hate George Bush. Like, obviously this nigga be tripping. Everybody I look up to hate this nigga. Like every comedic stand up that you ever watch as a kid, or your mama didn't let you stay up. It's just this nigga Bush.
It was. I mean, he was an easy scapegoat. Honestly, like looking back now, I feel like it was more Dick Cheney sort of running the show and George Bush being the face and all that. But
he was just doing what he was born to do. It wasn't personal.
Exactly. I don't think
he wanted to watch baseball.
He was a C student. Like
you're a Texan too, man. You're the first Texan. I was on our second episode.
Texas feel like a different country though too. That's something the vibe I got. My dad actually lived in Del Rio.
Yeah,
but being in Texas feel like a whole different. It's just like damn.
It's a different America.
Yeah, it's just like they doing what they doing down here. This is different. You know what I mean? This is not. This is Texas.
It's respectable. It's kind of like Texas is like that. LA is like that.
Right.
New York City is like that.
Right.
It's certain pockets to where it's like no crossover.
And for our generation, Texas is like niggas going south.
Yeah.
Like whereas maybe our parents might have been trying to get up north. Niggas like, let me go to Texas and give me some land and get a good job.
A big house. Yeah.
It's hard to be homeless in Texas. You know what I mean? Like,
I tell you what, bro. The biggest reason I wanted to get out of Texas for college was that very reason. Like, there's 1 million colleges in Texas,
right?
And if you go to one, you just never leave the state, bro.
It's hard.
Like, you go to Texas A&M, UT, Texas Tech, whatever. Your whole network, your whole life is in Texas, and you get sent out, and it's like you don't know nobody because all my whole family's in Texas.
Yeah,
I got a few people in Louisiana, but if I got dropped off in Cali somewhere, like I wouldn't know a soul if I went to school in Texas.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
right. Yeah.
And it's just a weird thing. But I think that's kind of how it is, like with Cali, with Texas. Like it's just sort of because you got to drive so damn far to get anywhere.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Some places that's that big, that states that have multiple like world renowned cities.
Right,
like
right.
True.
You might have Texas might have out of the top 50 cities, top 100 cities in the world, y'all might have like 4.
Yeah. It's
California
just huge,
like
man.
that too, where it's like San Francisco, all these different areas where you could be like a top level person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
That's true.
But yeah, so DJ Augustine went to my high school ultimately. Like so Katrina happened. And you know his house got flooded, his high school got hit, and so him and his family just sort of transferred. He went to my high school.
So you want to stay with him? Type shit.
Nah. We ain't want to stay.
Okay.
He just won 3 in Louisiana.
He won 3 in
Louisiana. Okay.
I would like to believe that Texas has better ball than Louisiana, but whatever.
He was going through a lot, maybe, you know.
Yeah.
It was a rough year.
It was a rough year.
If it was in, he's going
could also be that.
Yeah.
This is my favorite story about DJ Augustine. So there was a guy named Chris.
Like many guys.
Chris's brother was a world-renowned guy. This guy named Lanny Smith. Lanny actually ended up founding Active Faith Sports. I don't know if y'all heard about it, but it's like an apparel brand. They're the ones that have the In Jesus Name on play stuff.
I have. I've seen that
so
online.
like Steph wears that stuff anyway.
I've seen it online.
He could ball. Like
Okay.
he ended up hurting himself. He was going to the league. He was one of the best players in Texas, so on and so forth. So his little brother obviously like is living in his shadow, goes to the same high school, whatever.
Yeah.
He's been like, you know, playing behind his brother for years.
Right.
And so his brother finally graduates. He's supposed to be starting point guard. Little does he know, DJ Augustine is coming that next year. So
he league.
he
ain't playing over DJ
now. Like he's currently in the league.
No disrespect.
So Chris is like hyping himself up. Like I don't give a damn who he is. I don't care how many state champs. You know, like how we do.
My
Like,
school.
I'm in high school. Fuck that.
It's my school.
I grew up here.
my house down the street. Like, I ain't letting this random nigga come take my spot.
Right.
Anyway, so first day of practice come around. And like we all ready, like we trying to watch varsity practice because like Chris finna go up against this all world cat from Louisiana. They get on the line, they start running. Everybody like, yo, why DJ ain't running? Why DJ ain't playing? Whatever. DJ Augustine doesn't have his mouthpiece, right? And it's not like he's special ordered some mouthpiece. Like it ain't like go to academy and buy you one,
Right.
So he just
I ain't never played
doesn't
with no
practice.
mouthpiece.
He just decides I ain't gonna practice.
Okay.
He don't practice for like a week. And mind you, like varsity's doing like running.
It's serious.
Yeah, like it's for real. You know, they trying to get the starting 5 figured out. So the nigga mouthpiece finally show up. And Chris is ready, bro. He talking in the locker room like I don't give a damn about this. Like he done lost his spot. It's too late. Like da. Man, DJ out of shape, dog. Showed up first playoff, like he get the tip off the jump or whatever, and like break down. And I want to say he hit Chris with like an in and out, and then like step back, and then pulled up from 3 and like nothing but bottoms, and then like ran back down court and proceeded to bust his ass the entire practice.
Like light work, out of shape. Not even this ain't shit to me. I'm not even gonna practice.
It was wild, man. And like the thing is, he ain't really have to be in shape, dog, because he was he was quick. Like, it was different, man. It wasn't.
He had a different level of athleticism.
It was a different thing. Like, it wasn't like he was faster than everybody or anything, but like the way he had the ball on the string and his court vision and the fact his first step were crazy. Yeah. Like, it was
and nuts. Then for him to be 5'10", 5'11", you gotta be special as an athlete. We talking about like even like IT, you look at these guys and they like, oh, they little guys. Like, no, these are the most athletic niggas in the world.
He's 5'9", he can dunk.
Yeah. 165, 175 pounds.
Like, people, it's like people only look at height. Like, I can't imagine how fast or strong Muggsy Bogues was.
Yeah. At 5'5". I mean, to be playing against niggas from 7 feet.
He's slapping the floor on Jordan. Like, you must go hoop. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you're a small person. So your athleticism just must be on a whole nother level for you.
The fast twitch muscles be different.
But it's like, I remember like, I was on JV at the time. And so I remember, you know.
No parts of that.
We do.
He's like, you know what?
We scrimmage at the varsity or whatever. And I get switched off on a pick. And I'm like backpedaling while he coming full speed. And it's like, it was I didn't have a chance, bro. Like I mean, this is the most athletic I have been like in my life, and I did not stand a chance.
And you ain't know, like, you at least a B level, you know, athlete. You know what I'm saying? Like, even now,
I ain't went to the league, but I ain't no scrub.
I glass on nigga.
Damn. Nah, it was just it was something about like the handles and court vision, and then as I like. It's one thing to be fast and another thing to be quick, and it was weird, man, because like hit that like first step or like kind of like the move. What I don't know, it was
that's all he needs.
Yeah,
and he is fast too. He's not like slow.
Exactly, right. Exactly. So I mean, it was just kind of like knowing how to use both of those things. You couldn't you ain't have to stand a chance, bro. It was tough.
That's real. That's
dope. That dude could ball, bro.
What about is there any Houston area players now in the league?
My best friend, like my homeboy, named Devin White, who lives in Oklahoma, actually played AAU ball with DeAndre Jordan.
I was gonna say DJ.
Okay. Yeah. So DeAndre Jordan was on one of the big like Houston AAU teams. So I want to say the one that I played for was Houston Select. He played for the Houston Swoosh. The other big one is the Houston Hoops. And it's basically like all around basically the different companies. So like Select is Adidas, the Swoosh is obviously Nike, and so is Houston Hoops or whatever. But yeah, DeAndre Jordan played for them. He was big, bro, but I had no idea, man.
I mean,
I had no idea.
He developed he couldn't play when he got to the league really that much. Like
when he played, because he went to Texas A&M, right?
He just was a hell of an athlete.
He only played 1 year there, right? Yeah, so it was just like his athleticism was just so like off the charts. And it was just like,
he got some obviously. He got some good coaching. Like I was just looking at him now, like he in a point in his career where he not really trying to make a huge impact. Maybe next year he will, but he looks like, damn, I'm stable and firm as like a man.
Tyson Chandler, kind of.
Yeah. Whereas Tyson was like a deer in headlights at first. Kinda, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Doc really got them together.
Yeah.
I also think it was some of the league changing for him too. Like I mean, the league couldn't be any better for DeAndre Jordan right now. You know what I'm saying?
If he was 10 years older, he'd have been barbecue chicken out there.
Yeah,
he didn't want to see no parts of young Dwight,
that's true.
Young old Shaq, KG, Duncan.
Like it's crazy that he is one of the best big men in the league. Like that's crazy to say, but it's really true.
Tyson Chandler still got a job.
Tyson Chandler is like his prototype.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's crazy to kind of how it all kind of came together for him. But he could ball, obviously. Like, I mean, back in the day, you wasn't nothing you could do with him.
You in the NBA, you could play.
Exactly. Like, if you caught him on the block in high school, it wasn't nothing you could do with DeAndre Jordan. Like, that was it.
I'm just talking about, like, from a cerebral standpoint, like, you know, when you get into the game, your IQ, you can see. I can't play as good as some niggas in the NBA, but I know I could outthink a lot. If I was 6'5", it's like, I would be fucking y'all up. You know what I mean? So, that's
I remember the other guy, and this was like crazy to me. It's just something like how height in the NBA is just a commodity. Like it's a huge deal. There's a guy named Eric Moreland. Eric Moreland is an NBA champion now. Yeah. Like played with the Toronto Raptors last year. Dating some IG model. Like my man's is doing well for himself. Hey man,
you shots.
Shout out to Moreland.
And so he went to my high school as well. And he was He was shorter than me, I think. If he wasn't shorter than me, he was like 6'3".
Okay.
Until maybe his junior summer.
Okay.
And I didn't realize this, but like he was a knucklehead, so he used to always get in trouble. I saw his dad show up to the principal's office one time. Yeah. And his dad is 7 feet tall. Oh, man. So I didn't realize this, but like I was like, why y'all keep Eric on the team? Like he's just okay. Like what's up? But he was playing with JV. Like they wanted to keep him in the system. Yeah. Obviously, coach knew he gonna have a growth spurt here in a second.
He's gonna hit.
No, you don't know Eric. Yeah. You don't know big Eric. You mean Eric Senior. Right. You gonna want to keep him around. That's real. I mean, he big, he's stocky, like, big old dude. So he shot up his senior year. Still had like some, serviceable post moves. Like he could attack the rim or whatever. Went to Oregon State. Got some clock over there and made it to the league, bro. And now he, got an NBA ring at the crib. Road, but got there.
Yeah, man.
It don't matter where. That's something about hooping too. It's like it don't really matter where you at. Anybody can make it. With Kawhi being at the top of the mountain right now, being that kid where it's like he wasn't a decorator. He wasn't Brandon Jennings. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
True.
But out of the LA niggas, it's like he at the top.
Like, we always talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Like Kawhi, like 09, the top dog was John Wall. John Wall on his way out. Look like. And so it just was like, it was John, Eric Bledsoe, Cousins. Yeah. It was like, these the best guys. And then it was like, where Kawhi come from? He's the best one now.
He was quiet, but
I don't know who the people was for y'all, man. But like, I remember OJ Mayo being a huge in high school.
Everybody got the same magazines that come to the high school. What was the magazines used to come to the high school? I can't remember
the
what the name was.
Magazine?
No, it was some other like high school edition where they just
Preps.
Maybe some shit like that.
Something like that, but it would come and it would have like, because it would be a regional one and a national one. Okay, so it'd be like the regional stories, like the top players in your area, and then it'd be like the national, cover the national ones too. And I got some covers of Slam magazines in there with OJ Mayo in there, bro.
That's right.
Jared Bayless was that guy. Eric Gordon.
Gordon. 07.
And then Derrick Rose came. Derrick Rose was like,
my year was Kyrie. I'm 10, so
Kyrie was nasty.
Yeah. I just remember like seeing they had a big tournament in Houston. Kingwood Classic.
Lance Stevenson was 09.
Oh my God,
Lance Stevenson was New York nigga.
Huh? Did y'all see him in person?
Nah.
Ever? Yeah, see, I ain't never seen him in person.
But I know he was like the all-time league scorer in New York and all that shit.
He went to Cincinnati, and it was like, oh snap! I thought Lance Stevenson was gonna be raw. But
it's crazy how people like get to the league. Like you got to do some shit to get to that other thing,
and you got to keep working too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Keep working.
You in the project, you landed up on everybody. It's like these a bunch of hood ass niggas. You are 6'9". You got some game,
and people don't realize
but being a pro is different.
It's like being a professional in any industry. You know what I'm saying?
Especially
like,
if you're not bred
it's
for
like,
it.
You can move boxes, but can you move boxes within UPS system?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Can you can do marketing? Can you show up to the advertising agency and go to the meetings and do all that shit?
Can you not cuss people out?
That's part of it. Where a lot of the players, like, I'm sure J.R. Smith just wasn't the best employee all the time. So that has a lot to do with why he's just not in the league. Iverson had that issue. Carmelo even was dealing with that issue a little bit.
And it's sad like, you see people finally mature. By then they like, we done with you, bro. Because when you was 20, you was a kid.
Shit to you.
But these type of people who didn't have a father, didn't have these type of things. So it might take you a little longer to really understand life and be exposed to life outside of just like this building.
Yeah. Well, you know what they say about those folks who have like parents that play professionally. Like aside from the connections and like the genes being passed down and all that, you know how to be in the league.
You get the process.
Yeah, like you understand you gotta wake up and you gotta eat right. And you gotta show up.
He wasn't highly recruited, but it's like my dad, one of the best shooters of all time. I be with this nigga.
I can shoot. I can shoot, bro.
Me and Vince hella cool. Like I'm 8.
Just being around other professionals. You know what I'm saying? Like even like you say, you take for granted.
It's possible. You know it's possible.
You're at the games.
Yeah.
I come to the game, I see him work, I see him, so you are less like shell shocked people your age. Like,
but
you're
like,
just
think
exposed.
about all the people you see, like, that just show up to the gym to hoop or whatever, like, and they don't know no drills, they don't know like how to make themselves better or whatever, because you don't have no expertise. And if your dad like hoop, it's like, look, you go to the gym, you need to do 50 with the left hand, 50 with the right hand, and then like, you know, up and back, and like you can kind of you know some things. You know what I'm saying? Like those little
it's
things.
wisdom. And even that's why I salute you. I say you was at like a conference or something, man. You know what I'm saying? But did nobody teach you how to be no journalist per se? This is first generation going to college and doing the things you're doing as a man. So like, but if your son could read and shit, I'm not gonna be, or if he a lawyer, so I wouldn't be like, this is crazy. But we just being black, this is our first time where it's just like, oh, people go to college or normal things we take for granted. For us, it's like that's a huge jump.
It's a big deal, man.
So transitioning, like you said, now you work at Newsy,
right,
or whatever here in Chicago. You know, how's that been? You know what I mean? The reporter life.
I mean,
you're a real reporter now. You're wrong now.
I don't watch stories like not even outside of the timeline. It's like, damn, that's my nigga. Like, it throw you off. Like, I'm not just on Facebook. This is really like
it's a real deal now.
Hey man, it's good, bro. I think the thing is with Newsy, I've been there a long time or whatever. Is it started as like a startup. It hasn't been around like terribly long. It's not a legacy brand, but that allows us to, one, take some chances, two, like advance and kind of do different things. And I think all of that considered, has made it a good ride. You know what I'm saying? I think the one thing that we're always fighting for is like brand recognition. Like, I mean, if you go work for ABC7 in Chicago, it's like you work for ABC7. Like, everybody know, they see you like just waiting for their chicken and sharks. Like, it's like you work for that. Right? Like, that's how it is. And so it's kind of like fighting for that is always something that we're trying to get better at. But I get to report on something that interests me. I think the work that I'm doing matters, and so that's the most important thing to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, trying to do that. That said, like, if Don Lemon, if you listening, like, you know, holla at me. Like, I'll bet. We need some millennial black blood on there, baby.
Hook it up,
What's the most humbling thing you experienced? Like I said, you done did stories where you done been in jails, and what's the most humbling story you come across?
Man, I don't know if it's probably recent. It's
damn, Kimber left on the stretcher.
Dang.
Every time we do a podcast, I kid you not.
This is our second straight episode.
Somebody has left on the stretcher.
Really?
We were watching the Georgia-Auburn game. You see that girl? She was taking a photo. And we were literally watching it, and she got ran over. We were like, damn. Episode comes, but
hey,
okay,
y'all gotta shoot this with the TV off, bro.
It ain't our fault.
We on the couch, but
yeah, back to what you fucked you up.
This is probably like recency bias or whatever, but I interviewed Yusef Salaam from the Central Park 5 the other day. He was here for Chicago Ideas Week. Newsy has a partnership with Chicago Ideas. Anyway, I don't know if y'all watched When They See Us yet or watched the whole thing, but the thing that struck me about watching that, man, is like, I could be any one of those kids and their whole life changed for no reason at all.
Just being black.
Just like
it's a reason.
But it was just like, this is I know I am that kid. I know that kid. Like I will raise that kid. And so like to meet this guy who's sort of like taking it all in stride or whatever. And I mean, mind you, he didn't get it the worst out of everybody in the group, but
still,
man, that just says a lot, man. Like that's a tough thing, bro. You give up 7 years of your life in jail, like, juvenile or not, that's huge, man. That's a big deal, especially for something you ain't do.
Your brain not fully developed.
You're not eating good. You ain't getting, you know what I'm saying?
It's one thing to be a man and deal with that shit, and that's stressful.
Yeah.
No people should have to be dealing with it, really.
And the idea that something so big would kind of set their eyes on you, right? Like it's like being caught in a hurricane. Like, the city wants answers. The DA wants answers. The judge wants answers. All these folks. And they all focused in on you. And you can't do nothing. Like, I mean, what you got? I remember on the show, they had one of the lawyers was a divorce attorney. And they had like, attorneys that work for free or whatever. Like, you can't mount a defense, and so many people are in that exact same situation.
Yeah, and they really don't care as long as they get their results and meet their quotas in certain cases, and you just that body.
Yeah,
you don't even know what's going on. Like,
Exactly.
Like you said, it's kids on top
You
of
don't
that.
got no context. Like,
Yeah, man. It's just that was wild, man. I mean, like I say, he was, brilliant dude. Obviously, like looking forward and not, harping on the past. Was able to talk about all that stuff without, falling back into it or being like traumatized or anything. From what I can tell, at least.
Yeah.
And I just it's just wild, man. Because that's what do little black kids do? Like they go hang with their homies wherever, you know what I mean? Whether it be the park or whatever the case is. So it's just nuts, man. That was wild.
Yeah. So what's it like? What was it like growing up in Houston, actually? Because it's like Houston is like a place I haven't been to yet. I spent some time in Dallas finally or whatever. Yeah. I've spent some time in Austin for South by, you know what I mean? Doing that type of thing.
Shout
but
out to Slim Thug. We was definitely influenced by
like when I bought Mike Jones, Paul Wall, and Slim Thug City. So
like Still Tippin' changed my life. I'm not gonna act like
was very tapped in.
I'm not gonna act like Still Tippin' ain't changed my life.
I got into screw music. I was into it. You know what I'm saying?
Chop the Screw song. So only thing I ain't did was lean, but I learned from y'all, not to do lean. Rest in peace, Pimp C.
Rest in peace to Pimp C
and DJ Screw.
Hey, Hockey, that lean thing is dangerous, bro.
And ASAP Yams, and with the list is getting too long.
Yeah, man. Like it be killing people. Anyway, I don't know, man. Like Houston, Texas in particular. Aside from sort of the things you just know about Houston, like it's huge or whatever. Like it's spread out. It's hot as hell. It's swampy. Like we flood all the time. Mm-hmm. I think what I loved about Houston the most, and I think something that I felt in like the Midwest in general is like people being genuine with you. It's one of the reasons I don't want to live in DC. I don't want to be in New York or LA. Like
that's real.
There's a
Southern hospitality.
Yeah, like I can handle big city. I can handle like catching a train, being cold, all that jazz. But like people walking up to you and you don't know their intention. And like, like in DC in particular, you show up to a bar or whatever and somebody's like, oh, what do you do? And like you're like everybody feels like they're networking and it's like, yo, I just want to have a drink kind of thing.
That's real.
That's tripping on that.
That is tiring about LA.
I can't handle it, man.
That's tiring about LA for sure.
Yeah.
Like it's like people are on. Fake. They're on all the time. Yeah. It's just like you're in character all the time. Yeah, it's just like
I just feel like one of the most important things in Texas, I think, is just kind of being genuine with folks. And I mean, sure, like the Southern hospitality is real. Like people working at McDonald's were like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like,
fixed your flag. Yeah, like that.
It's like all that stuff is true. Yeah, man. But I think under all of that, the more important thing is people that are genuine. People say what's on their mind. People kind of treat you right. Like I don't know. I think like you meet people, no matter who they are, and they, for the most part, are giving you a real sense. Even racist folk, it's like they don't like you. Like
they just being
you can tell.
It's just letting you know, bro.
We Robert Lee over this side. All right, well, leave us alone.
Do your thing over there. Like,
right.
I'm not gonna be in your yard.
Yeah.
I felt that way too. Just walking around the car. We was in Austin for like South by and shit, and it just was like, damn. You could tell like they don't fuck with me, but they not tripping off me either. They not petty as petty.
Yeah. It was just you walk into somewhere that you ain't never been, and they don't see people like you often. You feel it like that.
Yeah, that's just natural. I mean, that could be anything. You could be fat, tall, woman. You just walk in a room full of men. It's like everybody gonna look at you.
I feel like I fit in Texas. I don't feel out of place. Like the times I've been there, I feel like, well, I get it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Little more guns.
I think St. Louis and Texas in particular have like a marriage, man. Like I feel like both of my line brothers graduated and went to Texas, so there's that. But
I would think 80% of Greek life at Mizzou fuck around being in Texas at this point.
No strong 75.
No cap.
So strong.
You go down there and fuck the numbers up and just sweat even more. You know what I mean?
I don't know what it is, bro, but I just feel like folks I knew from St. Louis that went to Mizzou took their ass to Texas. Like a strong 50%.
It's nice, and it's a similar cost of living.
It's a lot of similarities to it.
But
Texas
it's a lot
is just
nicer.
more. It's more money. That's why I asked about St. Louis is still so segregated that the city is lopsided. and we all black, so we're from the outside of town. So it's like you don't want to go back to your hometown and then have to live somewhere that you're not comfortable.
Yeah.
So like, shit, I might as well just move somewhere else.
Yeah,
if you don't want to go to Chicago or like you said, New York. Texas is a good medium. That was a big thing for me.
All white people are different. Like they kind of hide it, but they hate you a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like they not really gonna.
They don't even interact.
It ain't never no bar in St. Louis where it's like, damn, we was some white people. Like that's
what I was gonna say. Like New Orleans was interesting to me. The first time I went there, that was the first time I was in my 20s. I was like 23, and that was the first time I ever seen a white man dance with a black woman.
Yeah.
That was the first time I ever genuinely saw like a middle-aged white man.
I was about to say, Louisiana white folks are different, bro. Like I can attest, man. They are actually cool. Like, I mean, as far as, I don't know, like, there's obviously still racist folk, but I just feel like they right on top of each other, man. Like, there ain't nothing they can do about it. Like, you seeing black folks, like, in your day-to-day, and you probably sound like them, too. Like,
it's the South, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's something as I've gotten older. Like, my family's from rural Missouri. So it's just like, I grew up in a small, like, and I mean, I didn't grow up in a small town, but I spent summers, you know what I'm saying, where everybody drive by, they just waving.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like one of them type of place where just a hand. Even you little, you tall, what's up? You know what I'm saying? So it's like once you kind of get used to like that, I can see how people turned off by big city living where people won't talk to you. Or how you big city person going to a small town, just like, well, this is just overwhelming that there's nobody here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but I had to get used to folks not giving you the head nod back. Like that's just not like not
you look
natural
me in my
to me.
eyes, speak to me.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't make eye contact with me if you staring at me. I'm gonna say what's up.
I swear, man. Like just
have a conversation.
Just
hello.
And then for like, you know, Chicago to be so fake liberal, it's just like I done got on so many elevators or lived in nicer buildings where it's just like shit.
Chicago,
I'm not finna rob you. I know I'm from the hood and shit. Like I get high, you could feel like that Tanel could be my ass or something, but I'm not on that with you.
Yeah, bro, you gotta relax.
Just trying to get to the 15th
people here are
floor,
scary as hell. Black or white. You know what I'm saying? It's like even when you I'm not finna gangbang on you, bro.
Right.
I'm just
relax. I'm just one of a lawyer.
I'm just gonna drink some water and
just relax. It's tough.
Trying to get through this Mariano's like you, bro.
Man, I'm just saying, you know, man. So no, I mean, you were talking about, like you said, you know, your job and everything like that. What's the dream reporting job?
Man, it's tough, bro. I think for me, as I've been in Chicago in particular, I've sort of gotten more into documentary storytelling, which is something that honestly is just tough to do because it takes a huge investment from somebody. Somebody has to like invest money, time, like resources, and you ultimately don't publish a lot. You gotta like it's a huge investment, and then hopefully you get a huge return. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That said, it's something that I really enjoy, and I think it's something that can be really powerful. I'd say my dream job right now, maybe this is short-sighted because they don't be like hiring people like that. I really like what Vice correspondents do.
Okay.
That's something I could totally see myself doing. I don't know if I'd be willing to go back to sort of the standard sort of local news gig unless I had to, but I like new media.
Local news gig is hard. It's harder than people think.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a hard job.
It's super tough, man. And I mean, you go to certain places, like especially short staff spots, and you know, you get up at 8, you like research or whatever, go to the job, and you gotta have a story done, like a package done. You gotta do a live shot, and you gotta have it all ready to go by 5 and 6. Like it's, you know, you going out, you shooting it yourself, you know, editing it yourself. Like it's a tough.
It's a different grind.
And I feel like they all gotta be the same. Like when you see black people on the news, I just feel like, damn, like this not how you act.
Well, that's the thing. Like it's sort of like
nigga don't act
like she gotta wear this kind of weed. She gotta be this kind of
like one of the things I remember, like at Newsy, when we started hiring people that did local news, it was like, yo, turn that local news voice off. Like you don't have to sound that way. Like, how do you actually sound?
That's true.
Because people kind of like constrain themselves and like bring it in, and then all of a sudden they're like, hello, I'm Jamal, and I'm here on the campus of blah 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 in the 1600s block of and it's like, unclench your shoulders, bro.
Relax. Will you breathe?
Yeah.
Take a breath.
Inhale.
Yeah.
You don't sound like that. So it's just, I don't know. And I think the other thing, and this is no shots at everybody I know that works local. I think that a lot of it is superficial, man. Like,
what you mean?
Well, what I mean is they're hiring you based on how you look, how you sound, and not the stories that you tell, which is like not exactly what I want to be hired for. Like, you know, I remember at Mizzou, one of the ways you would like pick where to apply when you were graduating from broadcast school was like, okay, in North Carolina, they just lost their like young black reporter. Yep. You should apply there. Yeah. Or, you know, they just lost, it's a heavy Latino community. They're like daytime, Latino woman just left. That's probably a good spot for you. You know what I mean? And it was just kind of like, well, have they even like? I mean, I guess they got to look at you and make sure you can do what you're supposed to. But it's filling a quota. It's making you feel.
I mean, creativity.
It's kind of like that in the advertising industry. You know what I'm saying? Like we like black people still. Maybe we at like 7%. Now. But above the C-suite level, it's like nobody really. You know what I mean? So it's still well, you probably should apply there because I know that they're looking to get into multicultural advertising now, and you are black. So exactly. So it's the one time where it's like, well, damn, I guess being black is gonna help me get a job this time, but it's still like
I'm helping the quota.
Bittersweet. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like that's not why you would want to go somewhere per se.
But, so that's why I'm a fan of like new media. I really enjoy Vice and Vox. I like some of what the legacy newspapers have done on their like video teams. I'm a big fan of like the Wall Street Journal, New York Times. Like they be putting out this is why so and so failed. Like them videos be good as hell. Right. Like, I think like that to me feels like the future, and that's kind of where I want. That's kind of where I want to go.
How big is the audience? Because like that's something I be thinking about in terms of their demographic. Like you think about Vice, and it's like I would assume all the smart niggas I know are watching Vice, and then the smart other groups of people. How many is it of us versus everybody else? Because how the country kind of playing out right now, it's just like. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I would think in terms of the longevity is like, are people going to get smarter? Or are people going to be as dumb as they always have been?
I think that it's like when you talk about that and some of the word that you said was like new media. I mean, these like before, like I remember, like I said, living in a small town, like my grandmother would wait for the man to drive by and throw the newspaper at us before that would be the thing that she read. You know what I'm saying? Versus now, you can watch the news on YouTube. You could be on Twitter and get the news. So I think that it's more just about where you get the news.
It's more opportunity.
That's why Facebook is in shit with fake news, because people look like Facebook is, to me, is not taking the responsibility that people do get the news from you guys. Like, though that's not what you built it for, because of the change of other industries, it's people get the news from there.
To the IQ of the country. It's like, on one hand, I kind of feel bad for Mark Zuckerberg. They be just yelling at him, and it's just like, well, you mad at him because people dumb as fuck. And it's a manipulative,
or people misusing the platform.
So it's just like, that's what I'm saying. Like your audience is fickle.
I mean, here's one of the big things. I'm sure you know this based on like your career, is that a lot of new media kind of bet on online, right? Our next big thing is gonna come from online, and the problem with your Facebooks and your Twitters and all that jazz is like our money comes from advertising, right? So the amount of time that somebody spends with your content is way less online than it is on television. So what I mean by that is my grandmother turns the TV on and lets it run on ABC all day. Right. It's not gonna change. Like that's like she's watching whatever, soap comes on. Then the 12.
She only got 5 channels.
She locked into her program.
Oprah, ABC,
Steve. She might get Steve a little time.
It's exactly what it is. It's like somebody watches the local news, like their favorite local news channel is only their favorite channel because Oprah is on at 4. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly.
But with online, you gotta choose that. There's a million things you could be watching or doing or whatever. You gotta decide, like, I want to watch this video, and even if even if you click on it, if it ain't exactly what you thought it was, you go click and watch something else.
You're gonna watch something else.
Right.
You out of it. Yeah, you out of it. Yeah.
So new media is fickle in that way, and because of that, advertisers are like,
less
maybe.
money. Yeah.
Like, they can trust Vice, they can trust Vox because they have this kind of huge audience, but like just new media in general is tough because it's like, I don't know if you guys have like what I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? If
y'all have to be proven out. And like you said, now because there are so many, like, this is a deep conversation, but
it's all good.
Like something that I've been dealing with at work is like getting people to understand that like the things that we used to look at as hobbies of the past are now like culture.
Yeah.
So before it was like, you play video games,
right.
but that's just your hobby.
Right.
But now there's a whole professional culture behind it.
Yeah, you can make 100 bands playing.
Like you remember, like when we used to play like the remote control car with the wires. Yeah. Now you got drones. That's a whole nother culture. There's so many different cultures now, but like brands are just doing media buying. Yeah. They're not making as many advertisements. They're like, let's just buy media. Let's just buy up time. Let's just, like, to your point, because it's so segmented. You know what I'm saying? Across the board. So it's just like, it's so diluted that, like you said, that new media has to like pick a lane and just drive it home. That's how Bleacher Report can even, they had the help of TNT and stuff like that. Right. But it just was like sports memes all day. You know what I'm saying? Before it's like a thing, before they can now make more content and step further out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I say all that to say, like, I enjoy new media, but ABC 7 ain't going nowhere. No. CNN ain't going nowhere. BBC, like these kind of major brands are not going anywhere. And the hope is that some of those new media habits find themselves into like a major media company, and then like you get some stability. You know what I'm saying? Right. So my kind of dream job is one of those kind of new media gigs at a place where they definitely not gonna run out of money. Like,
gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
So switching back to the hoops real quick. What was it like growing up a Houston Rockets fan?
Man,
that was a good time. Like, low-key. It seemed like.
Well, you know what? You guys actually have some of my favorite players growing up. Okay. Tanel knows I have a very big fanship of Yao Ming. Yeah. Yao Ming is my guy.
Tino Mobley.
T-Mac, I was a big T-Mac guy. Yao Ming was my guy.
Moochie Norris.
Steve Francis.
Like, we just missed like Elijah Wan in terms of like really watching.
Exactly. I didn't watch Elijah Wan.
Take it in.
Yeah. Nah, So I would say that Elijah Wan was like idolized in my household. Makes sense. I'm like, a huge fan of Elijah Wan.
And you was under the big man act as a kid. So. Yeah,
but I didn't watch Elijah Wan. Right. Like, I was just like 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't watch him like that. So my favorite like Houston team was probably like Steve Francis and like Yao Ming's first year together. Like that's probably my favorite Rockets team. And I say that because the Rockets now, I hate the way they play basketball.
It's like fake real. It's like, they are great. Yeah. But they not. And Russell Westbrook kind of get on my nerves too, watching him play with him. I don't like it. I don't like it. I enjoy Russell Westbrook more than I enjoy watching James Harden. I'll say that. I remember, and I think like he like a biscuit on the plate though, more than like James Harden is like the chicken, the mashed potatoes, and the green beans. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, and everybody else just some ketchup.
It's true though. It's true though. Like, and that's like a tough gig. Like, I give him credit, man, because like,
shout out to Ben McLemore too, St. Louis native.
Them cats just sit in the corner and like. Wait for the ball, bro. Like,
that's such a hard way to play basketball. Just standing around waiting for the ball, so then you can try to make a deep ass ball shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like you waiting for the ball.
It's annoying too. It annoys me watching them because Austin Rivers and Indiana was
Eric Gordon.
Yeah.
They try to like do their best James Harden impressions and shit when they get the ball.
As soon as they get the ball, right?
And they be like, bro, you not that good.
Yeah, you need to keep.
You know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
a role player.
this ain't how you play.
Hey man, look.
Austin Rivers think he the best nigga ever.
I'll say this. I didn't expect Austin Rivers to like do well in this system. But it's fine. Like it works out. Like,
is playing pretty well.
He fits in a really, really odd way, similar to Eric Gordon. Like I hate like Eric Gordon's kind of style of play, like that herky jerk. Yeah, like it looks smooth. Terrible. All I said, like all of a sudden Eric Gordon will have 25, and I'm like, from threes? Like when did this happen? You know what I'm saying?
I think them losing to the Golden State Warriors is overstated too. Like everybody act like, well, they would have went to the championship, but they almost went. Yeah. And almost is just it's tough to hold your whole franchise on almost.
Otherwise, LeBron's the best player ever because he almost won all the championships. That's the case. You know what I'm saying?
This is true.
It's like, either you lost.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's the narrative now. Everybody's like, because now, the Warriors being done for the foreseeable, I'll say 2 years of competing for a championship.
Right.
Unless Klay Thompson is really just better than we're all giving him credit.
Right.
I don't think that they're going to compete
still by
for a
himself with these little kids they got on their team.
I don't think that they're competing for a championship. So Houston is like, as much as like, oh, James Harden averaged 40, did all this other stuff. It's like, all right, but he lost. So it's it's like
and he's shooting every fucking thing. As amazing as it is, it's like his usage rate is just unreal. It's a video game.
I thought Houston caught a terrible break when Chris Paul got hurt and we were going against the Warriors. And we had been we took them to a game 7.
KD was on that team, right?
KD was on that team. Yeah. We were the only ones that like took them to 7, gave them a real shot at losing. Yeah. The next year, when KD went down,
that's when I was done with Jamie.
Game 6.
Done. Put a fork in him forever.
the game 6 shoot. Clay's out. Clay's out. And in the first half, Curry didn't score.
0.
Game 6, Curry has a goose egg going into half.
This
and
like
they were down by
May.
5 or something.
This year, last May. I was my cousin was graduate. I remember watching that. Speaking of the devil,
there you go.
Yeah, so, he didn't attempt a shot.
It was weird.
It was
odd.
It's like, bro, this is your moment.
And I remember like 2-time MVP Steph Curry is not going to end this game with 0 points.
That was 0.
And y'all up by 5.
First of all, y'all defense not that good.
But that's why I say he's soft, because if I see blood in the water, anybody else is chomping at the bit. Yeah. And you don't shoot.
Yeah.
For that to be a whole thing.
Yeah. You don't shoot once.
Yeah. Because you don't really be setting people up.
And I feel like he's trying to be under the Jordan acting his own way. Even with averaging all these points and shit. It's like, he can do it, but you not built like that,
what happened? That's what I just want to know. If I could just talk to James Harden, I just want to know.
Right, man.
And I take it all the way back to when we was in college. Let's go back a little bit. Do you know?
Okay.
But 2010, Jamie was nowhere to be found in the finals.
Yeah.
Mr. Smallness.
Yeah.
It's his DNA. It's in his DNA.
Until James Harden wins the championship, that will be like the skeleton in his closet. That's gonna be the elephant in the room forever. Like, you have to perform in the final moment.
I don't think he cares.
But no,
I don't think he cares.
I think he cares, but I don't. You know what James Harden might be
they
in
real
the
life
wall
right now on
James
TV.
Harden might be, Charles Barkley. The gripe on Charles Barkley from a lot of older players, stuff like that, was he was too nice.
Right.
When it came down to it, he wasn't going to punch Jordan in the face.
Right.
And that's what it would have took to actually go out there and beat them. They had a talented team. They had bigs. They had him. Who could guard Charles Barkley?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like Charles Barkley was an overachiever. I wasn't watching the whole time.
He wasn't supposed to be that good anyway.
He was good, don't get me wrong, but it's like he wasn't in shape. He wasn't this and that. It was just like, he was small.
James Harden, not elite shape.
He wasn't
James Harden was not supposed to be this.
He wasn't as out of shape as
I'm saying from day one, Charles Barkley was like, he could change our franchise. Nobody thought that about James Harden.
Yeah.
Charles Barkley got a statue in front of the Sixers. I think he just got a stature. I think.
Yeah, no disrespect to Charles Barkley.
I'm just saying to that point. I'm just saying his first team to the Phoenix took them to the, you know what I'm saying? Like Charles Barkley was that.
But it wasn't like that. This nigga had 40 every time he come out here.
Well, we're saying James Harden only doing that because of the offense, because of D'Antoni.
But see,
I believe so.
I'll say this. I do think that James Harden likes to defer in those moments because in that playoff series where they did take Golden State to 7, leading up to that series against the Warriors, when it came down to the fourth quarter, in general, Chris Paul was the one to go get you a bucket.
I'm glad you said that.
And the other thing about the playoffs is that we gonna figure this out. Like,
you're gonna figure it out.
7 cracks at it. Like,
bro,
there's only so many times you can dribble between your legs and step back on me. Like, I know exactly what this does. Like, this offense doesn't have another.
I'm grown.
And it say what it say. Now, Chris Paul has been known to jag in certain times. We all know that.
Right.
But it say a lot the way that ended.
Yeah.
And I think I take from reading between the lines and, my little psychology background is just that, James Harden mentally, obviously, it's something off.
Yeah.
Like, he crazy enough to be in the gym and shooting one leg float. Like, he working on his game.
Yeah.
But something is missing in the game is 90% mental. But for the fact that Chris Paul felt like, fuck this nigga, that's kind of how we all see, like, people like, fuck this nigga.
Yeah.
He a bitch.
I'm pissed. Yeah.
And Chris Paul had 30 plus in the deciding game when it came down to it. Hurting off. 45 or whatever everybody want to say he was. Yeah. He old man. Yeah. But he had 30 and 10.
Yeah. And I'll say this. Being a LeBron fan and coming from after the generation and like worships the ground Jordan walks on.
Right.
I don't think it has to be like, I'm going to take the last 10 shots, or like if it's not specifically an ISO play and I score with the time running down, I didn't affect the game. Yeah. Like, it doesn't have to be
we
that.
was just talking about even with Chris Paul, like, I realized with them being best friends and Chris Paul being a few years his senior.
Yeah.
Chris Paul gave a lot of his game to LeBron. Yeah, he is very much so Chris Paul like in how he plays and approaches the game. Yeah, and I think the reason why the older generation gripe, and it even bothered me, is like LeBron's strategy isn't built for the car he in. He drive his car like it's a goddamn.
That's a good one.
Like it's an Audi, and it's like, nigga, you a Yukon. You know what I'm saying?
You go over the hill, and he just driving around.
And it's like, bro, like I'm not saying don't, but it's like, if you can lay it up, will you go ahead and bring it home, please? Like, what do we step back 3 in about? You know what I'm saying?
No, that's exactly what it is.
And if Chris Paul was 6'9", I feel like he would have more championships than LeBron because he is a more cerebral player in that way.
Yeah. Watching the idea of LeBron James driving around the hill instead of going over that thing is exactly like him, his first like 3 to 4 years in the league. I just think occasionally people put too much emphasis on kind of, I gotta be the one with the ball in my hand in the last few minutes because of Jordan's influence over the whole 90s.
And it's crazy, this man is still gonna be the all-time league scorer probably.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy about LeBron, for us to say like he's not been trying to shoot for real. Like, and he's still gonna be the all-time league shooter.
Hey, look, I'm scared of LeBron after the whole summer arrest, bro. Like people was making a big deal about him not making the playoffs and all that, and I'm kind of like, man,
I'm ready to see it. I'm ready to see it. This is because this is something we actually was talking about.
This is it.
The Clippers. Chemistry is a thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And though a lot of their team is intact.
Bron and them a new team too.
Bron and them a new team.
But he's played with some of that. It's a lot of people who have played previously with each other.
LeBron, like he's played with Danny Green before.
Rondo has played with AD and them,
you know what I'm saying? So there's only a couple, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's something to like the fact that he just knows Dwight Howard because they kind of grew up in the league together. They was battling. They just battling the same. They got the same kind of guard. They like older players
and
now.
Dwight actually like matured and got some sense now. You know what I'm saying? So
actually been balling a little bit, man.
Him and JaVale put together, they a whole person. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? But it's like something we talk about with the Clippers is that their two best players played the same position.
Yeah.
So even the game that they played the Celtics didn't necessarily play the best. I know the Clippers didn't necessarily play their best neither. But it's just like that cancels itself out at some point.
Yeah.
And it's the best coach LeBron ever had.
You both can't have the ball.
Man, so I agree with you. But that said, when Chris Paul first got to Houston, I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all both point guards with extraordinary usage rates. Like,
James Harden.
what are y'all finna do
For the
here?
record,
There's only
in my
one ball
book,
out
James
there.
Harden is a shooting guard that just got the ball.
Yeah.
But go ahead, my bad.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. I was very concerned, though, about, like, whether that was going to work out at all. And then it did. So I say that to say, like, maybe the Clippers thing can work out. But
I think
Paul George got to know his lane. Like, Paul George needs to understand, like, whose team he on. You know what I'm saying?
And that's something
real.
I seen last year. Is like, Paul George was definitively better than Russell Westbrook, but Westbrook didn't act like that.
Yeah.
He was the alpha personality, but it's like, damn, PG hella better than you at hooping. Like, I don't know if everybody else don't feel that way.
Yeah.
But last year it was apparent, like, damn, like Russ actually kind of, it was you after
Yeah.
KD shit.
I'll say this. I think
It was you because Dame bust that ass. You know what I'm saying? It came down to it. You got to try to talk shit. Dame was like, nigga, I'm from Oakland. Fuck that.
I mean, look,
Dame
I
did
think
bust
Russ.
that ass.
I think Russ is the other side of like that James Harden coin, bro. Because he
LA
too.
niggas,
it's
man.
wild, man. Like that
too.
fool averaged a triple double hadn't been done.
I don't think that
in
Russ
50
is soft.
years.
I think that he just is too wild.
Yeah.
It's like you can't. It's hard to control. Like
think it's
the
the
energy.
ego.
The energy is so much to control.
What
Yeah.
makes them good is what makes them bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, when it come down to it, and it's like, we're playing the best niggas in the world.
Yeah.
Now nobody's scared of that shit.
Yeah.
So you don't have no advantage to boost you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So you just got to pound for pound. And I just
Yeah.
think like when they get to that top tier level of comp, they can't do it. They
Yeah.
not. They just 10, 11, 12 in the world. You know, they not like
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. I'll tell you what though, for all the like shit I talk about how James Harden plays basketball
It's
and his
beautiful.
defense.
It's fun to watch.
It's so fun to watch, man.
It's fun to watch.
I don't know, like, if y'all ever watch NBA Classic no more. Like, I don't have it on my TV, but I was like at home
Yeah.
in Texas one time watching a NBA Classic game.
Yeah.
Anything before like 20, like aside from NBA Finals games that feature sort of like classic players.
Yeah.
Anything before probably like 2004 or so.
What you gonna say?
I don't
Is
feel that way.
bad. Like it does not look
We
good.
just
man.
actually watched, was it 96?
98. It wasn't even 96.
98. Okay, 98, and it was like a regular season game.
It was Miami
49,
versus Jordan.
And Alonzo Mourning was hooping.
Bro, that game was good as hell, bro.
Dennis
I
Rodman was
don't know,
hooping. Luke Longley, like, I could actually say, like, niggas now are more specialized skilled, but they don't know how to play the game of basketball.
Yeah.
They don't play as good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Being somebody who I like defending my era of the NBA, but these niggas like now, I get why other people say they soft because they so rich, bro.
Yeah.
And it just changed the kind of person you are. I feel like it's just like I could call any bitch in the world and fly her to fuck me. I could do. They have such a different, so many more distractions. Where
So
it was
many
just
more
like
distractions.
these other niggas didn't have no nutritionists, no nothing. They might have been getting drunk and shit too, but it's like, nah, we really finna hoop.
Man, we talked to our last guest, one of our homies, Gene. He's got this independent company called It's the Bigs.
Yeah.
And so, like,
Shout out to
he
the
didn't
guy.
go to journalism school, nothing like that, but they, like, real sports media journalists in
Yeah.
Chicago, been to the
They
World
just finesse
Series.
their way into that shit. Like, we
Bulls,
here.
Bears, the whole thing.
Right.
He was talking to us about, you know, some of the Bulls players, they walking into the game, taking pictures for the gram.
And they suck.
Oh, let me walk back in to get a better angle. And it's like, that's what you're thinking about, bro?
Yeah. I went to a Bulls game not too long ago.
That shit is
and I was sort of looking through the little packet or whatever. Man, these are some kids, bro.
Kids.
These some children, dog.
And I honestly be watching the game. We went to a game
Kobe
too long
White was
ago.
born in 2000.
I was
Wow.
I kid you not. It was done. He was open on the wing, and we was down low, not trying to flex. And I was like,
No,
I
we
just
was on
got
the floor.
frustrated.
We
I was
flexing.
like,
We flexing.
shoot.
We was on the floor.
I was like,
Fuck that.
hey, and I know he heard. I was like, shoot that, let that motherfucker fly. And he was like, you know what, fuck the play, but he missed.
It was
And he
a
got
brick.
took out. But I was like, damn, bro, like they just like not confident in their game. And it hit me like, damn, like I'm actually better at basketball than these dudes. It's weird to feel that way being a game like they can't hoop.
Yeah.
They genuinely just
LeBron
can't. They
and
just
them was just
tall
talking about
and
that on the
shit.
shop. Like, it's dudes in the league that generally can't hoop.
They can't
like they don't
play.
know basketball.
They don't know basketball. They got the skill. They got the
And
size.
that's
a lot
what
of them.
you kind of fucked the game up too, because back in the day it was just like you're just the best nigga in your region of the country.
Right,
You
right.
earned that shit.
Right.
And now y'all in college. Now you earned it. Now y'all in the league.
Yeah.
It was a man's league.
Yeah.
Everybody out there had kids and bills and shit. Now it's like
I think though
a baby league.
My prediction for that is though, I think the NBA is going to fix its feeder system. Them taking not like when they first started the D League, them not taking the D League that serious.
Right.
The game sped up so fast.
I don't think it's gonna ever work in the G League. I know you optimistic about it, but I don't because of the pay and these other leagues around the world.
I'm saying what I think is gonna end up being is what it is. A lot of it is just majority of the G League players now are two-way players. They got guaranteed contracts. They like millionaires.
Right.
There's a lot of players in the G League now for the first time that are millionaires. Where like you said before, it was just like, oh, I'm just not trying to do this. And your better European players, like you said, they don't even come back now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like
real defender.
Nothing. So it's just like, I think that they got to figure that out. So to your point, you don't get so many just, I'm 19, I'm just in the league.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's just like, it's messing the product up. They even have to acknowledge it's messing the product up.
I'll say this, and this is something I didn't realize until I want to say I read it in like maybe ESPN the magazine or something. One of the things that people don't realize about AAU and about like specializing in a sport in particular is that it wears on your ass. Like
injuries.
People are Zion hurt.
He's hurt.
That's crazy.
He's been going around dunking the last 5 years in every little small gym.
Exactly. Because he's been playing year-round basketball with no breaks, and that's the only sport he plays. And so you end up, you gonna have people that's coming into the league that's 19, 18 or whatever that's been playing since they were this high.
Knees 30.
Exactly.
Yeah.
30
to piggyback off your point, to make it more of a community thing, like with AAU, like back in the day, like you say your high school, that was it. If you don't get to this institution and really mess with this man who's 75, who's been coaching here the last 30 years, you're not gonna play. No matter how good you are on the street. But now it's like a lot of the men are in it for the wrong reason. A lot of these coaches and stuff, it's like they not doing enough good a job of picking the people who are raising these kids as single mama, but he's 6'8".
Hey man, these like financial hawks then got into that high school basketball, bro.
They getting that money from Adidas.
Them cats, that is a real thing, bro. My AAU team, we had like it was like a I don't know if grassroots is the right term, but it was like a grassroots AAU team. We did the car washes, we did the bake sales, all of that jazz. And like my mom was giving money, like so we could stay in shitty hotels, and we went to Golden Corral every tournament, like the whole thing. Real life. And this guy came in. Swear that was my weekend, dog. I done ate more Golden Corral in my life because of AAU basketball.
Nasty ass shit. That's probably closed. I ain't seen one since.
I ain't seen the Golden Corral in a long time.
No, it's terrible.
But yeah, like you say, it was for the love.
But it was this like, extraordinarily rich, like oil rich white guy came in, and he had a connected Adidas and like bought the team and all that, and like ultimately what we had just ended up getting broke apart. Like, the guys who couldn't make it, like, or wasn't playing well enough, they got rid of them. They brought in cats we didn't know. This new coach who like actually I take that back. The coach that coached us, who was a really good coach, who was like picked us out around the city of Houston, he moved up and coached the older group. And then they gave us some random like assistant coach from some like, suburban high school or whatever. Right. And like he didn't know what to do with us. Like we was wilding on him. And so it just like messed up sort of the dynamic that we had, like to your point, man.
Yeah, like
it was
you
just
used to spend on the kids you grew up spending the night with.
Yeah.
Now they not good enough to be on the team.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
That's not why he on the team. You know what I mean? He funny in the locker room. You know what I mean?
You don't get it.
We can see him in the gas station.
Like that's what he does. Like that's what he's here for. Yeah, bro. Like it was just
innocence is what we talking about.
Yeah,
the innocence of just playing basketball, the sport, the things that you get from the sport beyond the monetary shit.
Yeah.
But is leaving, and that kids are traveling to play with each other.
Yeah. That dude ended up getting like prosecuted for this very thing. Like he was, giving money to the wrong folks and all of that jazz, bro. So it's not like it's not out of the ordinary. It's exactly like what you think. AAU is a huge moneymaker, and
it's a racket.
They're going to have to deal with it at some point.
It's a kid
man.
in St. Louis right now to go to school at Hazelwood Central in North County. I'm sure you know a bunch of Hazelwoods, but they, he the number 3 player in the country, and he grew up playing with LeBron and different people. I guess his parents just was taking him around to get him ranked. But it's so important because now that he a top 3 person in his class, that's potentially hundreds of millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? So it's so much at stake now that almost capitalism almost forced shit to not be pure.
Can I ask y'all something?
What's up?
How do y'all feel about D-Wade and LeBron Kid playing
on TV
together?
And shit.
I mean,
I'm cool with them being like high profile because I feel like there was nothing they could do about that. But like them coming to the same school to play together, I
think that it takes away from that character that you get from being the best, being forced to show that you're the best player at your high school.
Every night.
People not from nowhere. They the type of kids too that's like, where they from?
Yeah.
Like my daddy worth
a little bit of time in LA, a little bit of time in Miami, a little bit of time in
he went to high school in Chicago years ago. He was a freshman at Mount Carmel.
He's at Mount Carmel.
I just kind of feel like
it's unnatural.
What y'all teaming up for in high school, man? Like you supposed to. I just remember in AAU, like the AAU team was stacked, right? Like it'd be cats from all over and they play on one team.
High school, though.
High school.
That's what you show you the best player.
Exactly. That's like on the flip side because these kids are walking meal tickets, they famous, and it's like shit, I gotta send them to some rich ass controlled ass shit that's put together because my son 14 and he one of the most famous niggas in the country.
I don't disagree with that.
That's the thing too, as a dad, it's like shit, well, I gotta have these niggas. I'd rather have them together where we could watch him and we know what's going on than to send him somewhere and it's like niggas trying to knock him out on camera for hits or
you can't just have your
shit different. Our kids are
Bronny can't just go anywhere.
Bronny just can't go anywhere.
It's a lot crazier now than the DMs. Like I can't imagine. Like we was just getting the phones and the social media.
Right.
I definitely had 2 kids by now if I was fucking by the time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not Bronny.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a kid from Chicago that come from reality TV background. His mama go with somebody in the NBA and he's playing on their team too. He a sophomore. So it's just like these kids are. It's like a career now.
It's different. The stakes are so much higher.
It's totally
different.
different.
If you're a regular kid, it's almost no place for you. You got a special because they've been specializing.
Your
dad was putting the ball in your hand, but he didn't have you outside every morning at 6 a.m. bringing it up to. And that might have went somewhere. You know what I mean?
And I was still like doing other things. Like,
you was a kid. You
let's go to the pool today. Like, it wasn't like out of order.
My grandma's house.
Well-roundedness.
But these kids different now, bro.
So we always like to, end our show asking the 2 obvious questions. We need if you had to start a team, give us your top 5 players. And then we're going
to do your top 5 rappers.
We need your top 5 rappers too.
Personal.
Okay.
Hope it ain't too light skin. I don't want you. I know Deshaun gonna try to get on you if your rapper's too light skin.
That's true. Alright, so the team, I'll do the team first because I feel like more confident in that. I gotta do Olajuwon at the 5.
Okay.
I know that leaves out a lot of folks, but Olajuwon bust Shaq ass, so I just kind of feel like I feel comfortable with that.
If you gotta move named after you,
like if Randy Moss one of your top 5 football players, like shit, he be bossing people.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
So I gotta start with Olajuwon. I think after that is probably Tim Duncan.
Okay,
that's real.
I mean, I go back and forth between Tim and Kevin Garnett, but I think Tim is obviously like the more successful player.
Yeah.
And at the very least, it's kind of like the longevity is there. Like he performs in the moment, like even kill.
Yeah.
So
I personally think Tim Duncan better than Kobe, but I said that last time too, so.
That ain't.
It's a great argument. It really piss people off in the barbershop. You ever want to piss people off?
The thing is, I was gonna say I ain't no big Kobe fan. Like he ain't gonna make this list.
That's real.
I'm probably the 3 is tough. I think.
No more Texas motherfuckers.
Yeah, I was gonna say I gotta get out the state. Nah, man, I think Probably gonna do LeBron at the 3, Jordan at the 2.
Okay.
Smart man.
And then from there is, I reasonably would say Steph after that, but my favorite.
Steph ain't the best in June either.
My favorite is AI. But that he doesn't fit on this team at all. Like I just don't know.
LeBron be passing.
28 points a game fit everywhere.
You know what I'm saying? LeBron be the point. You got Jordan and Iverson on the wing. Hey, he needs to be blessed.
So I want to say AI. I'm not sure if that's a safe bet. If not,
it's your team.
Yeah,
you the GM.
All right, AI then.
AI.
That's the 5.
I like that.
That's the 5.
I like that. That's a good 5.
Top 5 rappers.
Yeah, so let's go with
and if that's hard for you, we could do black music. I'm not even against because I look at everything.
I feel you.
It's everything.
That's real.
Feel you.
So give us, let's go top 5 artists.
Top 5 artists.
Let's go on top 5 artists.
All right. Top 5 artists. Probably it's too recent. My favorite artist right this moment, and it's like way too early to tell, is Anderson .Paak.
No, it's not. Really,
that's a good one.
It's super early, bro. He
been doing. He just not getting big.
Yeah.
But he been doing it.
Yeah.
So I feel you on that. And in this climate, ain't nobody else doing no music.
Yeah.
So
yeah. That dude
it's
is
real.
That dude is extremely talented, and like I remember hearing Oxnard and being like, this is okay. And then like follow that up with Ventura like right afterward.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite R&B album this year.
Yeah.
By a lot. I would say after that, it's probably so the thing is like just to rep the hometown, like UGK is a much bigger deal than like Slim Thug, Paul Wall,
100%.
all of them, right?
Yeah, they the legends.
But for me,
Slim Thug was
my guy. Like Slim Thug was my guy.
The boss hard.
Yeah, bro.
That's fucking bomb. He was riding around that shit like a motherfucker, boy.
Slim Thug was that guy, bro.
Already
Like Still
Platinum was
Tippin' is
my
like
shit.
a legendary song, and he managed to like come out on top.
He kicked it
best
off.
I don't know, bro. I just feel like it was like
lyrically, he might be the best Texas nigga potentially, like pound for pound, if you really get him in there.
Yeah. I mean, because the thing is like Paul Wall is all about like the metaphors and like punchlines or whatever, but I just feel like it's not. The flow is just different, man. Like I just feel like with Slim Thug, it's kind of like
the East Coast bag.
Yeah,
too. He traditional and he got all the other shit you want.
Yeah.
He started,
and he got the voice.
Now look who
his delivery is different. You know what I'm saying?
What? Okay, you started off like what? Okay.
Like,
He's so descriptive.
Still Tippin' come on and like shit start changing in your house. You like what the fuck?
Yeah, bro. What's going on? It's a video.
I wasn't even high then, but you know.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine being high listening to Till Tippin' and shit. I was the kid. I was doing that.
Speeding all through the city.
You know what I'm saying?
It was cold, bro.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So you got Slim Thug, Anderson .Paak.
I got AP.
That's a strong start.
All right,
It's a good album.
After that, probably gonna say this pains me, bro, because like you gotta have, I think, Tupac or Biggie in there.
Okay.
And my dad is the Tupac fan, but I was the Biggie fan.
That's real.
Biggie
so
over
Biggie's
Pac.
in there for me.
Me personally.
I think
Rest in peace, Pac.
after that, it's I'm trying to think if I throw another like R&B artist in there. It's probably Usher after that because I just spent so much time with Usher.
Usher, niggas forget what Usher was.
Like,
Usher was that.
I heard
nigga.
Make
He
You
just
Wanna the
peaked
other
too
day.
early,
Chris
bro.
Brown before. I can't even say that because I mean he had hits in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, it's just Confessions is like
he just peaked.
one of the best R&B albums
It's
ever.
just hard to beat
He
yourself.
had the best season ever.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat yourself.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
Yeah.
It's just like
And
once
it's an age
Because
thing
United
too.
with like the what was the one right after that? It wasn't. I was about
The
to
one
say
before
United
that was
We
real good
Stand.
though too.
It was
Whatever address it
1807.
was, the 10.
say what?
1807. Not 1807. That's
whatever. It was
8701.
8701 was
Then it's
close.
Confessions.
And them two back to back was a lot. Even before that.
But even the one after Confessions wasn't bad. Like people don't give it its love or whatever. It was a good album. Like there was hits on there.
Is that the one Moving Mountains? And stuff?
Yeah, that was the one Moving Mountains.
Okay, yeah, Moving Mountains was good. That was a good. Climax was on there.
Climax, okay.
Climax was on there. Yeah.
Like there was some hits on there.
If you fucking with me, Lil Freak was hard.
Yeah, Lil Freak was hard.
At the end of the end of the You Don't Have to Call video, they play like a little snippet of the joint he got with Diddy. And
I don't know.
Yeah.
Which you
Cool
can't.
ass song. Like anyway.
He also was an NBA owner, a minority owner.
Yeah. I was gonna say, but
Cleveland.
Shout out to Usher.
Usher got a ring with LeBron. That's crazy.
So, and then last is Jay. Like Hove is
okay.
Hove is Hove. Like I mean, he's
that's a good list.
I have nothing but good things to say about Jay. I think the NFL thing. Like we don't got time for this, but the NFL thing is like unfair to me, and I think Jay's doing the best chance he can, like doing the best he can with what he's got, and
even with all the Colin Kaepernicks, we can close it out with this because you are in media, so you can be more.
That's true. That's true.
Because me and Ryan just be like, I'm just not gonna say nothing because I don't want to upset all the black people who think one way. But outside of the monolithic thought of just the barbershop, if you gonna say, it's like even with Stephen A. Smith and what people are entitled to their opinion, especially when they've done so much and they've dedicated their life to being in these fields. And I feel like our generation, because I don't see every generation speaking on it, we quick to turn people down without analyzing it. We're very emotional.
Yeah.
Like Jay-Z is like, bro, like what are y'all talking about?
My whole thing
y'all don't
is,
even know what's going on.
For all the girls online that say they hate Jay-Z, that don't make sense.
How you love Beyonce and hate Jay-Z?
That's all I'm saying. The lady,
when they die, they gonna be the same. They gonna live on through the same people.
The lady, the nigga who was in the KKK, you can't be like, well, I like his wife, but no, she racist too. So
I
you know what I'm saying?
I think people are just envious of Jay-Z because he just come from the complete worst circumstance, and he just keep going up.
He ain't cute to people. He got the best wife. He got the most
just don't
money.
participate in all the silly shit that you got to do to be black.
It's crazy, bro.
He got this nigga a workout.
Yeah.
Kill Jay-Z.
Yeah, bro.
You'll never love him.
I think it might have something to do with our generation gap too. It's like maybe we're more old school. We're not classic millennials, obviously, because you get an opportunity. I feel where Stephen A. coming from. Like, okay, this is reality, bro.
Yeah,
white supremacy is not stopping, no matter how many knees you take. Or
my thing is, there wasn't. At some point, you got to take a win, right? You didn't got the whole country talking about activism and police brutality, and you got the NFL owner to donate money to organizations that are supposed to fight this thing. You
got your bag in
maybe
the courtroom.
It should be more money. You got your settlement. Maybe it should be more money. Maybe the organizations they donating to should be better. Maybe you should have a fair shot at getting back in the league. All of that. But I ain't gonna get mad at Jay for saying like, "Oh, you trying to spread that bag around?"
Right.
Like, let me see what I can do with that. Because like, I'm better connected than you are.
It's like he can't have the music playlist together. What's the fuck?
Like,
that's all I see that he doing. Like he can't get the music together.
Yeah, that's all he doing.
That authentic?
You don't want to see J-Lo in the Super Bowl? Like I do. What's up?
The problem was it was too white. Now a nigga run the shit. Fuck this. I hate this shit. Now we got a black man. Fuck her. It's like, goddamn.
So I'm just kind of like I just think Jay, along with being this amazing rapper, obviously, like he has also conquered this other world that wasn't even for him. Like, and that's
revolutionary.
A huge deal, man. It is.
That's what's annoying to me about it. He is the most revolutionary person we got alive in his generation. I don't know if he's Generation X technically. Yeah, he's like the older Generation X. But he is Black history.
Nah, but it's like to go from Marcy to creating generational wealth, like is
nuts.
Yeah. crazy, man.
And then people want to be mad at him for having that. It seemed like jealousy to me, like, all he care about is money. Well, what do you care about? You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't design the game. Like, you get mad at him because he playing the game and he got good at the game. So what, he supposed to be on the sideline because he black?
Yeah.
And I think that's JC's point. Like, well, shit. We on the sidelines, we not gonna win begging them niggas to put us in the game. Yeah. So I get you in the game, you gotta go in here and show out. It ain't fair, but
and like I said, I don't blame Colin Kaepernick for nothing that he did per se. I think that he just handled it weird if he wants to work there.
It's too emotional. Like
it's just like, you not wanting to sign, like you said, I read something today that was like, no lawyer would tell their client to sign something that like only applies to them. Mm-hmm. That's just probably not the best practice to do. Right. So even all that stuff makes sense. I just don't know why it's just not like, I ain't saying don't wear the Kente shirt, but I'm just like, bro, you can't say I'm gonna do something 30 minutes before, not do it, and then say it's 50 miles away.
Yeah, that's unprofessional.
I don't know what to me, just as a person, I'm all with you. You want your media, you understand the contract. But I don't know how I'm supposed to take that.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm supposed to take away from.
Well, the funny thing is, if you a scout, it's like, well, I'm here, but I ain't driving over there.
All of a sudden, we sit here ready to roll. It's starting 20 minutes. I'm annoyed now.
Sorry, I ain't going over there.
I don't get that
I'm tired of people treating him. And I hate to be like bashing Cap or whatever, but ideologically, I'm not on the same wavelength. I'm closer to Hov than I am to Martin Luther King, or you know what I'm saying. Yeah. But like, I don't know how to put. Like, I feel like he's not Muhammad Ali. Yeah, and that's not how we act as a collective Black Twitter, the smart Black intellectual. Yeah. He not Muhammad Ali. That's not what happened. And the narrative, he's getting treated in that way, and it's like, what's changing?
Yeah. I mean, even like you said, he not Muhammad Ali.
What are you doing?
I think to me the biggest thing is he been out the league. I even said this to my mom. I was like, he been out the league for 3 years. Let's pull up all the goddamn clips of him talking about police brutality.
Yeah, he not doing. What is he doing?
That's my thing.
And it kind of fell into his lap because it just so happened to be a big deal because people made it a big deal. This is not what you intended. So now you're living in this universe that just so you've been thrown into. Yeah. And then you Stokely Carmichael, and it's just like, that's not your background. Yeah. Before that, it's probably you.
My big thing about Cap is if this is in fact true, if Jay reached out to Cap before he signed the deal and Cap didn't respond, I can't be mad at Jay. Like, no. I'm not.
And he don't have, and even if he didn't, that's his business. He's his own man.
That's the thing.
You're not going to talk to me if Newsy got negotiations with you. Like, T, what you thinking, bro?
I just kind of feel like, hey, man, look, I feel like Jay is trying to do a good thing with the NFL's money while also getting paid. And I don't think that is like, I think that you can reasonably do that.
Because my whole thing is, possible. If they that bad, why you want to work there? That's always going to be my whole thing. Because it's like, you're a famous international person now. Yeah. You can make money off your
Nike contract.
If I would have been coach, I would have went to Nevada and build me the new.
That's what I'm saying. I brought this up.
If it's about football,
the black quarterback camp. You know what I'm saying? All the brothers need some help. You're not doing that. You're not at the high, and maybe you are, and you're just not showing it. Right. But I'm just saying, going off of basis of what I'm seeing, if you, like you to your point, you're gonna be Muhammad Ali, you're gonna stand up, you're gonna do all this other stuff. It's a million ways to take action and move forward, and it's just like, you're not doing that for real. So I don't take your activism outside of sports that serious. Like you did do a real thing.
They come off pretentious a little bit to me. Just like from him and her and the girlfriend, it just kind of get on my nerves at this point. I'm as black as I could be.
It's just a little pretentious.
But cool. Shout out to Cap, we love you. If you do got some Nikes, I live in Hyde Park.
I don't stand up when I go to the games, national anthem, because I take a knee.
Yeah, I'm with you. I feel you. But at some point, and this might be wrapping up as a message to our listeners, you got to detach yourself emotionally at some point from some of the shit. I know we done been through a lot. But we have to think clearly and go forward with some real. And I think that's all Hov is on. Like, I've been through all the emotional bit, realizing how bad it was to be black. What we gonna do now? Because we permanent underclass now.
Yeah, what's next?
You know what I'm saying?
What's next?
Cap ain't never made no blueprint, bro, so.
That's
And
also
on
true.
that note, Jamal, thank you for coming. This has been a good talk.
Drops mic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm probably gonna have you back, man, within our 100. You know, you're our local
Let's do that,
news
bro.
correspondent. You know what I mean?
Man, keep doing your thing.
Tanil, you got any last words before we head out of here?
I think I kind of summed it up with what I said with all this Kaepernick. I'm just say, stop being so emotional, man. Stop jumping to conclusions. Do the knowledge to what's going on. Research what's going on before you have such an opinion, because people, this bothers me, is like when you got an opinion could be wrong if it's not based on the truth. And we feel like whatever you tweet is valid because you feel that way. And it's like, no.
No.
So spend a lot more time. Look, listen, observe, and respect before you start taking the action with your mouth.
Yeah.
And on that note, it's the Backcourt. Peace.
Hey, man, that was cool, bro.